Welcome back. What if the world's toughest construction giant just decided to build a pickup truck so powerful, so brutally over-engineered, that it could make every heavy-duty truck on the road look ordinary? Today, we're diving into something that feels almost unbelievable, the 2026 Caterpillar pickup, a machine rumored to be engineered not just for roads, but for the impossible. For decades, the name Caterpillar has been stamped across some of the most unstoppable machines ever built. Massive bulldozers tearing through mountains, excavators reshaping skylines, dump trucks hauling loads that seem almost unreal. But now, imagine all that raw industrial DNA compressed into a road-going pickup truck. Not just a work vehicle, but a heavy-duty beast designed to dominate terrain, survive extreme punishment, and redefine what toughness really means. At first glance, the 2026 Caterpillar pickup doesn't even look like something built for ordinary streets. It looks like it escaped from a mining site and somehow found its way onto the highway. The body is bold, squared off, and unapologetically aggressive. Every line feels purposeful. The front grille is enormous, finished with a thick industrial mesh pattern that instantly reminds you of Caterpillar's legendary earth-moving equipment. Right in the center, the iconic cat badge sits like a warning sign, telling everything ahead to move out of the way. The headlights are razor-sharp LED units, but they're protected by rugged housings that give them an armored appearance. The hood rises high and wide, almost like the shoulders of a heavyweight fighter preparing for battle. Massive fender flares wrap around oversized all-terrain tires, making the truck appear planted, muscular, and ready for war with the elements. But this is where it starts getting interesting, because the design is only the beginning. Beneath that monstrous hood lies what could be the heart of the entire legend, an engine inspired by Caterpillar's industrial powertrain expertise. Rumors suggest a heavy-duty turbo diesel V8, engineered not just for horsepower, but for relentless torque. We're talking about the kind of low-end pulling force that can drag equipment, trailers, and loads that would make ordinary pickups struggle. Imagine pressing the accelerator and feeling a surge that doesn't come like a sports car's quick burst, but like the slow, unstoppable force of a machine that was built to move mountains. The sound is deep, mechanical, and commanding. It doesn't roar for attention, it growls with authority. And just when you think that's the most insane part, there's more. This pickup is said to feature a reinforced ladder frame chassis derived from heavy equipment principles. In simple words, this thing isn't built like a normal truck. It's built like a machine that expects punishment. The underbody is heavily shielded with steel skid protection, giving it the ability to crawl over rocks, debris, and rough job site terrain without fear. That means whether it's deep mud, broken roads, steep mountain trails, or harsh desert landscapes, the 2026 Caterpillar pickup is designed to keep going where others would stop. But the real reason this machine exists is something very few people know. This isn't just about making another pickup. This is about blending industrial engineering with personal mobility. Caterpillar's world has always been about extreme durability. Their machines work in mines, deserts, frozen landscapes, and disaster zones. Bringing that philosophy into a pickup creates something almost mythical, a truck built for people who demand absolute dependability. Think about construction supervisors working in brutal environments. Think about rescue teams crossing damaged roads after storms. Think about remote oil fields, forestry operations, and off-grid expeditions. This truck isn't merely transportation. It's a survival tool. And what happened next surprised everyone. Inside, instead of the rough bare-bones cabin you might expect, the Caterpillar pickup reveals a surprisingly refined interior. Rugged doesn't mean uncomfortable anymore. The seats are wrapped in premium heavy-wear materials designed to resist dirt, moisture, and extreme use. Thick stitching patterns mimic industrial equipment textures, giving the cabin a unique personality. The dashboard is dominated by a wide digital display system, combining advanced truck diagnostics with navigation and off-road telemetry. This is where Caterpillar's engineering heritage truly shines. The screen doesn't just show speed and fuel. It gives live terrain data, suspension articulation angles, towing load balance, tire pressure, engine temperatures, and even external camera views for difficult trails. But that's not even the most shocking part. One of the rumored features is a smart adaptive suspension system designed specifically for heavy-duty operations. On normal roads, it smooths out the ride, making the massive truck surprisingly comfortable. But the moment the terrain turns rough, the suspension automatically adjusts ride height and damping stiffness. Picture this truck approaching a steep rocky incline. Instead of scraping the ground, the suspension lifts the body, improves clearance, and keeps traction evenly distributed across all four wheels. It's almost like the truck is thinking ahead. And this is where the story becomes even more fascinating. Midway through development rumors, insiders claimed the engineers tested this machine in environments that mimic Caterpillar's real-world equipment challenges. Extreme heat, deep mud, loose gravel, snow-covered slopes, even partially flooded terrain. Most pickup trucks are tested for consumer durability. This one seems to be tested like industrial machinery. That single difference changes everything. Because now we're not talking about a truck that survives weekend adventures. We're talking about one that's expected to perform in places where failure isn't an option. But wait, because the next detail might be the most surprising yet. The towing capacity is rumored to be absolutely massive. While modern heavy-duty trucks already pull impressive numbers, the Caterpillar pickup may push that limit even further thanks to its reinforced frame and industrial-grade torque delivery. Imagine hauling construction equipment, massive RV trailers, horse carriers, boats, or multi-ton utility rigs without the truck even sounding stressed. That's the kind of capability this machine seems to promise. And yet, the most little-known fact lies in its potential power management system. Unlike ordinary pickups, this truck may include a built-in auxiliary power unit capable of powering tools, equipment, and even temporary sight systems directly from the vehicle. That means workers could run electric saws, floodlights, compressors, and communication gear straight from the truck itself. For job sites, that changes everything. For remote adventurers, it turns the truck into a mobile command center. And that's exactly why people are calling it revolutionary. Now let's talk about its real-world presence. Because this truck doesn't just perform like a beast, it looks like one. The side profile is long, tall, and incredibly dominant. The wheelbase feels stretched for stability, while the bed is designed with heavy-duty utility in mind. Reinforced tie-down points, modular cargo rails, lockable tool compartments, and weather-sealed storage sections transform the bed into something closer to a professional work platform. But hidden beneath that utility is something unexpected. There are rumors of an advanced modular bed system that allows users to swap attachments. Flatbed conversion, utility racks, recovery gear mounts, and overland camping systems could all become possible. So this one truck could transform from workhorse to expedition monster in a matter of hours. That kind of versatility is almost unheard of. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, here comes the twist. Some reports suggest Caterpillar may be experimenting with a hybrid torque assist system. Not a full electric truck, but an electric motor integrated to provide instant torque boost during towing and off-road climbing. This means the already monstrous diesel power could be paired with electric assistance for even greater pulling force. Imagine climbing a steep rocky trail with a trailer attached, and instead of lag or hesitation, the truck delivers instant controlled torque exactly when needed. That's not just performance. That's engineering intelligence. But the real magic of this vehicle lies in what it represents. For years, pickup trucks have competed in power, luxury, and technology. Yet few have truly embraced the industrial DNA of a company like Caterpillar. This truck seems to bring something different: authenticity. When you see the Cat badge, you don't think about lifestyle branding. You think about machines that work. Machines that survive. Machines that outlast. That emotional trust is powerful. And it's exactly why this truck could instantly build a cult following. But there's still one feature we haven't talked about, and it might be the craziest of them all: the off-road capability. This is where the 2026 Caterpillar pickup may completely separate itself from traditional heavy-duty rivals. Locking differentials, extreme crawl ratios, reinforced axles, and intelligent terrain modes could allow it to tackle surfaces most trucks would never dare touch. Sand mode, rock mode, mud mode, snow mode. Each setting changes throttle response, braking sensitivity, traction control behavior, and suspension tuning. Imagine driving across loose desert sand at sunrise, the tires digging in with confidence. Imagine crossing a muddy construction field after heavy rain, where the ground swallows lesser vehicles whole. Imagine climbing a mountain pass in winter with ice under every tire. This truck is built for all of it. And now comes the part that truly shocks people. Despite its brute force identity, the Caterpillar pickup may also focus heavily on safety technology. Surround view cameras, blind spot towing assistance, collision warning, trailer sway control, and advanced stability systems ensure that all that power remains manageable. Because power without control is chaos. Caterpillar seems to understand that. And what happens when that philosophy meets real-world drivers? You get a truck that feels both intimidating and reassuring. A machine that looks like it belongs on a quarry site but still feels precise enough for long-distance highway travel. As the story builds toward its final reveal, one thing becomes clear. This truck is more than just another model year update. It's a statement, a challenge to the entire heavy-duty market. A reminder that true engineering strength comes from experience earned in the harshest environments on Earth. And now for the most insane feature of all, the rumored durability rating. Some sources suggest the frame, suspension, and drivetrain are being designed for extreme lifecycle use, meaning this truck is expected to endure years of abuse far beyond normal consumer standards. That's the kind of durability philosophy that built Caterpillar's reputation worldwide. It's the reason their machines are trusted in mines, mountains, disaster zones, and massive infrastructure projects. Now imagine that same DNA in your driveway. That thought alone is enough to make automotive enthusiasts and heavy-duty truck fans stop and stare. Because this isn't just about horsepower figures or towing charts. It's about owning something legendary. Something that feels almost indestructible. Something engineered with the mindset of conquering the impossible. And perhaps that's why the 2026 Caterpillar pickup has created so much excitement. Taps into a deeper idea. Strength, reliability, endurance. The feeling that no matter what lies ahead, storm, mountain, mud, workload, distance, this machine will keep moving forward. In a world full of vehicles designed for style, this one feels designed for purpose. That makes it rare. That makes it memorable. And that makes it unforgettable. If this beast truly arrives as expected, it may not just enter the pickup market. It may completely redefine what people believe a pickup truck can be. Because when a company known for building giants turns its attention to the road, the result isn't ordinary. It's something bigger, something tougher, something almost unbelievable. The 2026 Caterpillar pickup isn't just revealed as a truck. It's revealed as a machine built to conquer the impossible. And honestly, that might be exactly what the future of heavy-duty engineering looks like. Welcome back. Imagine a machine so powerful, so unstoppable that deserts, mountains, and even the harshest terrains on Earth feel like smooth highways. A vehicle built not just to survive the wild, but to dominate it completely. This is not your typical off-road truck. This is the insane 2026 Scania 6x6 Desert Cruiser, and what it can do will genuinely surprise you. At first glance, it looks like something straight out of a futuristic expedition movie. Massive, aggressive, and unapologetically bold. Every line of its design screams purpose. Nothing here is decorative. Everything is engineered to handle extremes, towering ground clearance, enormous all-terrain tires, and a stance so wide it feels like the truck owns the land beneath it. But what makes it truly special is not just how it looks. It's what's hidden underneath. Because this machine wasn't built for cities. It was built for the world's most unforgiving environments. Deserts where temperatures melt metal, terrains where normal vehicles sink, fail, and disappear. But this 6x6 thrives exactly where others give up, and that's where things start to get really interesting. Under the hood, the Desert Cruiser carries a heavy-duty diesel engine that isn't just powerful. It's relentless. Designed for endurance over speed, it delivers massive torque that allows this beast to crawl over dunes, climb steep rocky slopes, and carry extreme loads without breaking a sweat. But here's the twist. It's not just about raw power. it's how that power is used. This is where the 6x6 drivetrain changes everything. Instead of the usual 4 wheels, all 6 wheels are driven, meaning power is constantly distributed across 3 axles. So even if 1 or 2 wheels lose grip, the others keep pushing forward. And in deep desert sand, that makes the difference between moving forward or getting completely stuck. But that's not even the most shocking part. The suspension system on this machine is engineered to adapt in real time. Each axle can move independently, absorbing massive shocks and keeping the vehicle stable even on uneven terrain. It almost feels like the truck is floating over obstacles rather than smashing through them. And that level of control is something most people never expect from a vehicle this size. As you move closer, you start to notice something else. This isn't just a truck. It's a fully self-sufficient expedition rig, built for journeys that last weeks or even months without civilization. And that's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Inside, the cabin feels less like a vehicle and more like a mobile command center. High-tech displays, advanced navigation systems, satellite communication, and climate control designed for extreme environments. Every detail is carefully thought out, because when you're thousands of kilometers away from help, every system matters. But wait, because what's behind the cabin is where things get even more insane. The Desert Cruiser can be configured with a fully equipped living module. We're talking about a complete off-grid home. Solar panels, water storage, sleeping quarters, kitchen systems, everything needed to survive in the wild without relying on anything else. It's like carrying your entire world on 6 wheels. And what happened when engineers tested this machine in real desert conditions surprised everyone. While conventional off-road vehicles struggled with heat and sand, the 6x6 kept moving hour after hour, day after day, proving that it wasn't just designed for extreme environments, it was made to master them. But the real reason this machine exists is something very few people know. It's not just for adventurers. It's also designed for critical missions, search and rescue operations, military logistics, disaster response, situations where failure is not an option. And in those moments, this vehicle becomes more than just transportation. It becomes a lifeline. And here's something even more fascinating. Compared to older expedition trucks, the 2026 version introduces smarter technology that reduces driver stress. Advanced traction control systems, terrain response modes, and intelligent power distribution allow even less experienced drivers to handle extreme conditions with confidence. Something that used to take years of skill can now be managed with precision and control. But just when you think you've seen it all, there's another layer to this machine. The fuel capacity and efficiency are engineered for long-range travel, meaning it can go incredible distances without refueling. And in remote deserts, that's not just convenient. It's critical for survival. Combine that with its rugged reliability, and you get a vehicle that can go places where almost no one else can reach. And then there's the build quality. Everything about this truck is over-engineered. Reinforced chassis, heavy-duty materials, components designed to withstand extreme stress. It's built like it expects the worst, and that's exactly why it performs so well. But here's where things get really unexpected. Despite its massive size and power, the Desert Cruiser is surprisingly precise to control. The steering system, braking technology, and driver assistance features work together to make handling feel controlled rather than chaotic. It's still a beast, but it's a beast that listens. And if you think this is just about performance, think again. Because the psychological impact of driving something like this is completely different. When you're behind the wheel of a machine that can conquer almost anything, the way you see the world changes. Distances feel smaller, obstacles feel less intimidating, and the idea of impossible starts to disappear. But the most insane feature, the one that truly defines this vehicle, is its ability to go completely off-grid for extended periods without external support. It doesn't just travel through extreme environments. It lives in them, adapts to them, survives them. And that's something very few machines on Earth can claim. As we reach the end of this journey, it becomes clear that the 2026 Scania 6x6 Desert Cruiser is not just another heavy-duty truck. It's a symbol of what happens when engineering pushes beyond limits, when design meets purpose, and when a machine is built not for comfort, but for absolute capability. Because in a world where most vehicles are designed for roads, this one was built for the places where roads don't exist. And once you understand what it can really do, you start to realize this isn't just transportation. It's freedom on a completely different level. Welcome back. Imagine taking a full-size SUV, the kind built for highways and school runs, and turning it into a self-sufficient machine that can disappear into the wilderness for weeks. No hookups, no limits, no roads required sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you the 2026 Ford Expedition camper is doing exactly that? And what it hides inside might completely change the way you think about adventure forever. At first glance, it looks like a bold, modern SUV, clean lines, aggressive stance, and that unmistakable presence that already made the Expedition a favorite for families. But this is not the Expedition you think you know. This is something far more extreme, something built not just to travel, but to survive anywhere on Earth. And here's where things start to get interesting, because the transformation from everyday SUV to off-grid monster begins with its design. A design that looks subtle at first, but hides a completely different purpose underneath. The suspension is lifted higher than standard, giving it a commanding view over any terrain. The tires are massive, all-terrain beasts designed to grip mud, sand, snow, and rock like it's nothing, and those reinforced bumpers? They're not just for looks. They're built to take hits that would stop most vehicles instantly. But that's not even the most surprising part, because what really separates this Expedition from anything else on the road is what's happening on the roof. A fully integrated pop-up camper system that transforms the SUV into a mobile home within seconds. And when it rises, it reveals a hidden world that most people would never expect from a vehicle like this. Inside, space is used in a way that feels almost impossible. Clever engineering turns every inch into something useful. Seating areas convert into sleeping spaces. Storage compartments appear where you wouldn't even think to look, and the layout is designed so a full family can live comfortably without feeling cramped. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's more. Because this camper isn't just about comfort, it's about independence, true independence. The kind that allows you to go completely off-grid without worrying about running out of power, water, or supplies. Solar panels integrated into the roof quietly generate electricity all day long, storing energy in advanced battery systems hidden beneath the floor, meaning you can power lights, appliances, and even climate control without ever needing a plug. But the real reason this machine exists is something very few people know. It's not just about adventure. It's about freedom from infrastructure. A growing movement of people who want to explore the world without relying on hotels, campsites, or even roads. And the 2026 Expedition camper is designed specifically for that lifestyle. And here's where things take another unexpected turn. Under the hood, this isn't just a powerful SUV. It's a carefully engineered balance of performance and efficiency. A hybrid powertrain delivers serious torque for off-road climbing, while also extending range far beyond what traditional campers can achieve. Meaning you can drive deeper into remote areas without constantly worrying about fuel. But that's not even the craziest part, because the way this vehicle handles terrain feels almost unreal. Advanced terrain management systems automatically adjust traction, throttle, and suspension depending on the surface. Whether you're crawling over rocks or gliding through sand dunes, it adapts in real time. Almost like the vehicle is thinking for itself. And then there's the interior experience, which feels less like a car, and more like a futuristic cabin on wheels. Soft ambient lighting, premium materials, and a digital interface that controls everything from navigation to energy usage. It's designed to make life on the road feel effortless. But what surprised early testers the most wasn't the luxury. It was the silence. Because even in the middle of nowhere, with nothing but wind and open space around you, the Expedition camper creates a calm, controlled environment, insulated from the outside world, yet still connected to it through panoramic windows that turn every location into a cinematic view. And just when you think this vehicle couldn't get more advanced, it introduces something almost no one expected: a built-in water management system, collecting, filtering, and storing water so you can stay off-grid longer than ever before. And combined with a compact kitchen setup, it means you're not just traveling, you're living fully independently. But there's a hidden detail most people miss. And once you notice it, everything changes. The Expedition camper is designed for rapid transformation. Within minutes, it can switch from driving mode to full living mode. The roof lifts, the bed unfolds, the systems activate, and suddenly, you're not just parked, you're home. And what happened when this concept was first revealed surprised everyone. People didn't just see it as a camper. They saw it as the future of travel. A future where you don't need to plan around destinations, because your destination is wherever you decide to stop. And here's where things get even more fascinating. Compared to traditional RVs, this vehicle is smaller, more agile, and far more capable off-road, meaning it can reach places that larger campers simply can't. Narrow trails, remote mountains, untouched deserts. Places that were once inaccessible are now within reach. But that also raises an important question. Who is this really for? And the answer might surprise you. It's not just for extreme adventurers. It's for families, explorers, digital nomads, anyone who wants to escape the limits of traditional travel and experience something more real. And just when you think the story is complete, there's one final twist. Because the most insane feature of the 2026 Ford Expedition camper isn't the solar power, or the off-road capability, or even the living space. It's the idea behind it, a vehicle that removes the boundary between transportation and lifestyle, turning every journey into an experience, every road into an opportunity, and every stop into a place you can truly call your own. And as more people begin to search for freedom, flexibility, and connection with the world around them, machines like this are no longer just concepts. They're becoming reality. So the next time you see an SUV driving past, just remember, it might not be just a vehicle anymore. It might be someone's home, their escape, their entire world on four wheels. And if this is what the future of adventure looks like, then we're only just getting started.